Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with another knife review for you. Today, we have the Kershaw Launch 13. Very excited to bring this to you guys. When I saw the pictures of it, I think I saw it on Instagram first. I was like, wow, that looks pretty cool. I do very much want to get my hands on that. I do love the Launch series autos. A lot of them have been a little smaller lately, though, and that's not really been my jam. The Launch 11 was an acceptable size, but a lot of the newer ones have been really tiny. This one is not. This is a full 3.5-inch blade knife, and it is a Wharncliffe, and it looks evil. I do like that a lot. I'm going to be putting this up on Halloween, so it makes sense to have a mean-looking knife on Halloween. It is an evil-looking thing for sure. Pretty unique construction. No conventional backspacer. They're calling this an integral backspacer, but it's just basically a clamshell design that goes together. Even that, what I think is very cool, little lanyard pin. It's just two pieces that come together, so I think that's kind of cool. It's just two milled pieces of aluminum that slap together there. As you can see, it is a USA-made Kershaw, and it is designed by their in-house team, as evidenced by that little Star Wars-y looking logo. Deep carry pocket clip, 154 or CPM 154 steel, which is what pretty much all the launches use. No real problem with that there. I like that steel quite a bit. And again, like I said, this pretty stylized looking, stylized Wharncliffe blade. Let's do some specs and some size comparisons before we get too much farther. You have a blade length, as I said, of 3.5 inches, overall length of 8 inches, blade thickness pretty thin, 0.12 inches, handle thickness of 0.47 inches. Sorry, I couldn't read my own handwriting there for a minute, and a weight of 2.47 ounces. The size comparisons bring out our usuals first, and then we'll bring out some other out-the-side autos that are in the same kind of size range. You have the Spyderco Paramilitary 2 and the Para 3. So you can see lengthwise, it's a pretty good sized knife, almost the same as a PM2. Bring out the Benchmade pairing. Bring out the full-size Griptilian and the full-size Bug Out. And do I have it here? Yep, we're gonna, sorry about the delay, but I'm making a call on the fly. Bring out my the 940. So this is the 940-1, because I think that's a more appropriate size for us. Yeah, very, very similar in overall dimensions to a 940. That's why I made the call on the fly. We're doing it live, so I had to turn around and grab it for you. And now bring out some other automatics, other out-the-side automatics that I think it is somewhat comparable to in size. We have the ProTech Invictus, the Prometheus Blade Vax, Invictus, made by ProTech, however you want to characterize it. It's got a really long name. The TR3, this is the operator, but the TR3 is in basically that that same sort of, they're all exactly the same shape. It's just the operator's the paint scheme, basically. And lastly, we will bring out the Microtech Ludt. Now, this is less expensive than all those other knives. I didn't say the price off the bat, but we'll get to that now. 125 bucks. So much less expensive, as you'd expect, because it's a Kershaw. Not too shabby, I have to say, for what you're getting. It definitely looks like 125 bucks. There's a lot of stuff going on here. That milling work was probably not super cheap to do. I'm sure this takes a long time to do. I think 125 bucks, I'm completely fine with that price, honestly. I definitely am. Now, moving on to the blade. I like me a Wharncliffe, so I like this. If there's one disappointment I have, is that it's not really screaming thin behind the edge. It's 25 thousandths, which is a little thick behind the edge for this thin of a steel, but luckily, or this thin of a blade stock, but luckily it is thin enough that it kind of almost makes up for that. It still slices pretty well, but it could be a lot better. And also just the way how stylized the upper half of this blade is. I think if this is just a more conventional full flat grind, it would be a little bit better slicer. Again, it's not bad, and it came really sharp, came with a great edge out of the box and all that, but yeah, there's that. Now, as far as the tip goes, you can actually see it because the partial coating on the blade continues across the spine, so you can actually see the tip in this one, if it'll focus. Pretty decent for a Wharncliffe. Still a bit dainty, but all Wharncliffes are. So it's really not too bad for a Warnie. So it's a good blade. It's not as great as I was hoping it would be, I guess. I was excited. A Wharncliffe, thin blade stock. If it was, 18,000, 17,000 behind the edge, this thing would be a real slice of machine. But it's right as it is. It's good, not great. Ergonomics too, I put in kind of that same category. Good, not great. It's odd. I guess is the best way to describe it. It's not uncomfortable, but it just feels different. I don't really know. There is a bit of a hot spot from the ramp on the pocket clip, no matter how you grip it. But that's kind of the thing, is I don't know how to grip it. I'm not really sure. Is it supposed to be more like that? Is it supposed to be more like that? I can't really figure it out. As I want to grip it normally, it's pretty good. It's like I said, it's just got a little hot spot from that, but it feels a little thinner than it should be. Even when you close it, there's still they had a lot of room, to make this a bit taller. I'd like it if the whole dimensions, I guess, were like an 1/8 of an inch bigger. I think it would feel a lot better if the whole handle was like an 1/8 of an inch taller. I think the whole thing would feel a lot better. So yeah, that ergos are, they're not bad. It's just odd. I don't know how else to put it. Carry-wise, carry's pretty good. It has a deep carry clip, does not have recessed screws, and in some really thick jeans, those are going to catch. But on your average normal jeans, they're going to be fine. It is light, no flipper tab, obviously, because it's auto, no sharp edges or anything. It's not particularly tall in the pocket. It carries really, really well. It is a very nice carrying knife for its size, absolutely for sure. As far as the action goes, man, all the launches have just been great, and this is no exception. If anything, this is one of the best ones I've handled. It's very, very snappy. It's not quite, ProTech level, but ProTechs are a lot more expensive. But it pops out just as hard. It just doesn't have that snap sound, that you get from a ProTech or a Microtech out the side. But it's still pretty darn good, I do have to say. Very easy to close back up one-handed. The button location's perfect for that. It's a really, really good action. It's quite impressive action-wise. And the price is impressive. And that's what I'm going to say in the conclusion. I think it looks really cool. It definitely looks evil. It definitely is a style. I'm not going to say it's only a style piece, but I think it is definitely, its primary purpose is to look awesome and have a decent blade. Again, not a great blade, but a decent one. And for 125, I don't really have a problem with that. If it was much more, I would. But at 125, I think I'm all right with that. I really do. It is right-hand, left-hand carry, by the way. I think it's pretty cool. It's not my favorite auto they've released this year. I think the Launch 11 still sits at the top of that list by quite a bit. But I'm glad to see them doing some larger launches again. But I just want a Launch 14 that's just a larger Launch 11, which is a much more conventional looking design. I think it would be a little less polarizing. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of comments down below saying this thing is hideous, and I would get that because it is tended to be a very polarizing design. Like, even just line it up here, I don't know which way to put it. Like when I was trying to line it up to, start the video, I'm like, do I line up the blade against that, or do I just go like this? Like, I don't know what line is the straight part. But a very unique knife for sure, and the price ain't shabby, and it is a very nicely put together knife with very impressive automatic action, and it carries well. So hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've been Brian. Have a good one.